Hello everybody, tinfoil hat lady here. I'm not going to wear my tinfoil hat for this one, I don't think though. Listen, I was following a thread on Facebook and one of my friends, Wes, wrote something and I just thought it was so brilliant that I'm just going to share it with you guys. I've gotten his permission to read it. He was just free texting here. People were talking about the G20 and tyranny and all this stuff. And I thought he made a good point here with his analogy. If everyday people are A and politicians and military and cops are B, while the manipulating elitists are C, which happen to thrive by pitting A versus B, because both A and B happen to vastly outnumber C, who exactly wins when violent measures are taken? And if we resort to violent means, do you see a foreseeable end to the violent cycle? I personally would like to see that, and I do think it is something that can be achieved. I'm not sure how yet, but that's where my focus is because I have seen what happens with violent measures. I think we all have. More makes money. Isn't the definition of insanity something like doing the same action while expecting different results? Yes, it is, Wes. Do we really want to keep fighting and having the stakes raised and conditions worsened continually? Let's say, theoretically, every day people all find a way to unite and find a way to defeat and remove everyone from positions of authority. The elites will just find new candidates to do their bidding and the cycle will continue. We need to think along new lines to break free from the cycle, not engage in the very activities that perpetuate it. And I agree with that. The G20 protests were never going to accomplish anything. I refer to the formula I described earlier. A was forced into confrontation with B, while C sat back tenting their fingers in satisfaction. The textbook version of history, which is written and printed by C, always describes violence begetting violence. Just because it has been doesn't mean that it will be in the future. We may be given the impression that there is no alternative, but look who's selling that idea. C. They're the ones that's saying that. And who cares how the world looks to C? Certainly not me, and when we all wake up and move on without them, I personally will rejoice in not knowing what all the fuss is about in the first place. I look at history for the sole purpose of understanding their MO, not so I can see what others did so I can follow in their footsteps. We do have to find a new way. The old game is broken, boys and girls. And if A and B were to actually cooperate and respect each other, and neither were to give C any regard whatsoever, C being the elitists, then C would become a non-issue. We need to stop focusing on that which we hate. Hate never ceases by hate, but by love alone is defeated. We need to stop focusing on that which we hate and direct our attention to what is pure and good and show our love for each other. Remember, you can light a candle in a dark room, but you can't, go into a light room and bring in the darkness. It doesn't work like that. C operates from the shadows for a reason, to present the illusion of it being in control. C has no real power over anyone, just the power that we feed into the system by our compliance and obedience. It is never too late, and there will not come a time when it will be too late. Ironically, while it seems bleaker now than ever, it is really the closest we've been to a real chance of breaking free of C. Because more than ever before are we aware that C even exists. That in itself is a massive dent in their armor. Extreme emotional resistance is what keeps it going. When it is globally realized that we are intentionally being played off against each other, and we do not have to hate and kill each other because of false propaganda put out by C, what we are doing by sharing ideas is contrary to what C wants us to do, and we just have to keep sharing and patiently waiting for more and more to realize we do have a choice that does not require violence. When we all stop playing their game, C can take their ball and go home for all I care because we don't have to play by their rules. Waiting for some benevolent leader to save us is not the answer, because they will have any likely candidate in their pocket already before they get into power. release any trepidation about JFK. The Kennedy family is in deep. Don't you know that, peeps? He was just playing the role of fallen hero, and we all bought it. The idea is to suppress resistance by making it look futile. His death served many purposes for C. For this reason, we must look at those events analytically and remove the emotional reactions so we can think clearly. Good point. At the G20 protest, the people were shoved up against the police, who also happened to be just people, by the way. Directing anger at the police serves no purpose. Was it the police being there that brought all the protesters? The people on police forces have no real power or authority when they take off their uniform. They are once again a normal person. Once the uniform is on, they're not doing anything out of free will. They're doing what they were told by C. The elite. Same goes for politicians and the military. This is why having open channels for dialogue is our greatest weapon. When we violently act out against the police or military or politicians or whoever receives our violence, we're not showing resistance to B, we are showing compliance to C. C says fight, and we do. How exactly does that help? Having us violently oppose each other is the exact script C has written, so why do we all feel we should stick to the script? I say let's start a big improv, boys and girls. A big tinfoil improv. There you go. Just wanted to share those words with you. I thought it was pretty right on. We do need to create something new. The old game is broken, and I'm here to say I love you, I believe in you, and I know that we're all going to solve this together. One of us doesn't have the answer, but together we have the answer. And in our hearts, we definitely have the answer. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Have a great day.